Good evening, everybody. Uneducated economist here. So China's going to put a halt on the soy purchases coming in out of the United States. No more U.S. grown soy going to China. Now, this is a pretty big deal for the farmers here in the United States because I'd imagine China is probably one of their major buyers of their product. But this is going to become an even bigger deal here in the United States if this starts moving off into other agricultural products as well. And you can already see this starting to taking place inside of logs. Like the log demand from China out of the United States has dropped quite a bit. And you can see that reflected inside of the lumber prices. Lumber futures last year were selling around $650 per thousand, and this year they're around $308 per thousand. There's been a huge drop in the price of lumber. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that China doesn't have this big demand for the timber any longer. Now, a lot of that lumber prices had to do to the fact that we do have a slowdown in the new construction here in the United States, but also a lot of it had to do with the fact that China has put this hamper on the demand for the timber. Now, who picked up the demand that China is seeking? Russia. Russia has gone ahead and sold more logs than they had, and they're selling record amounts of logs going to China right now. And that's kind of what happens, what you see during a trade war, is that you end up finding other partners to trade with. Now, this kind of reminds me of the situation that the United States was in during, right after World War I, that farmers in the United States started going bankrupt. And the reason is that during World War I, there was a huge demand for the agricultural products coming out of the United States. And farming was like the place to be. People were just booming in business. And what ends up happening when you're booming in business is you start taking out debt so that you can buy new equipment, build new barns, lease new land, hire employees, whatever it is you're going to do to expand your business. And then when the war was over and everybody went back home and they didn't have this demand for all the agricultural products in the United States, they could go back and start making it for themselves. All the farms in the United States started going bankrupt. And since government just doesn't react, they overreact. They started paying farmers not to grow food. They started paying them to destroy their crops. During a time when people were losing everything they had and going hungry, the United States was paying farmers not to produce. So my question is what is it that the United States is going to do if China turns off all the agricultural products coming out of the United States? Uneducated economist. You guys let me know.